My initial reaction was always of surprise. I was very happy to be invited into such a special project. It's not very common that you get invited among other 99 other architects by this great Chinese client with Ai Weiwei to do this thing. So we were very happy to do it.
If there was any doubt, maybe we were concerned about like mass development in China, but you know, it's a huge festival. I mean, we just go for it.
I was always a fan of Ai Weiwei's work. It sounds like a kissing ass. But I was never aware of his architectural project until we went to the Chaoyong district in Beijing, where he has several buildings, and I was very impressed by the simplicity and the fierceness of it.
No, I think that had that impact, that simplicity, that fundamental, you know, no need of any flamboyance. And I think that his word just spread out among the architects, I believe. Like just having his building right next to the site, just him being there was just good enough for him to spread the word.
We always thought of it as if we were the clients ourselves. So it was like being a family and designing our own little house, right? So there were always the questions about whether the pool was going to be this shape or that, and then we discussed about it, and then he wanted like a heart-shaped pool, right?
Yes. He didn't, so it didn't work out.
So we did a lap pool
instead. Take it easy.
Yeah, so it wasn't so abstract. It was like, what would we want for ourselves, and what was the site was asking for us. Well, what were the conditions, etc. So
it was great in a way. We just had to deal with fundamental needs of a house. Maybe the sun, maybe the wind, maybe what's out there, the views and everything. I think it allowed us to just focus on those, what we think is important for a house.
The organization of the house always started with the brick, the black brick, as a model, and this is the brick they use to build hutons in China, which is a traditional residential home there. And in our first visit, we also noticed that the best construction system they know how to build, and they put a lot of love into it, is this gray brick. So it was, the choice of materials was very easy, and it was very given by what we already saw there.
And I guess we didn't need anything else. We just wanted to do very basic, simple stuff, what a basic house would need. And if we thought that if the Chinese contractors can't build it, that means that's unnecessary for the house.
We wanted to design a nice object where you can live under this range of conditions, and we just wanted to make it nice to have fun with it. And
given this opportunity, I think and being in that climate, I think it was something that, you know, can be more like a found object within the environment.
And also it will be such like a fashion show, no? Like everyone showing their unique shape. So we thought of it since the beginning as an object, not trying to be contextual, because what's the context, no? It's so abstract. The site is so abstract. Like the first time we went there, it was completely white. Then the second time, it was completely yellow. And there's nothing built. Well, the only context would be Ai Weiwei's building, but
yeah, designing an object for architecture is it's always criticized, but I think the house could be a house, meaning that it could be something rather than some condition. So we took the opportunity for granted and got this little thing there.
Yeah, well, there's still the construction document phase, in which we hope will be involved in as much as possible. I've always said that the last step of the design process is at the construction site with the workers and making some little modifications over there, but maybe that's my Mexican heritage. Yeah, but we're really looking forward to work with the contractors and with Ai Weiwei as a team, and hoping to give us our input into the construction document phase.
I mean, from now to the end, meaning that until everything gets built, I think it's almost the other phase, which could be almost tougher. And again, it's sort of a gray zone for us as well. So I think we need more energy from now until it gets finished.
So there has been always the preoccupation, the worry that it becomes a gated community, that it's too close to American suburbia, which we think it's not, and we hope it won't. So it could go both ways at least. It could be a disaster, but it could also be a great collage of very interesting work by all these young firms.
I'm interested in which house will stand until the end, meaning that, maybe after, who knows, after 50 years, maybe the development goes away, maybe the house is, gets demolished, but maybe there could be one house standing in the end. And maybe that's the one who did the right thing. And that's us, right? No, right?
No, I think the US has become a very conservative ground for architectural design, as opposed to the Chinese, where they do know how to make it happen. I don't think the CCTV or the bird's nest could be made anywhere else but in China. And maybe those regards, it could never be here.
I think development is more like a climate in the environment. I mean, it's different from every country. I mean, it might be similar, but it's completely different because there are, different people living there, different country and different phase. I don't think it will ever be the same. I think I think I see this question as more of a follow-up for question number 7, was it? And I think, again, if the house stands until the end, meaning that if you just do the simple needs, maybe that's a success in the end.
I think it's a very unique condition. Like, you don't find this in other projects. I worked in other projects where there are other architects involved, but it's very different. It's not.
I think they did a right choice of inviting 100 from all over the world, not just U.S. or China or Japan or wherever.
Well, they didn't invite any from China.
Well, that's a different. That's a different discussion. No, but I think if it's 100 from, say, New York, for example, it'll be a completely different story. You're gonna be like, oh, what are you doing? The guy in Brooklyn is doing this. The guy in upstate is doing this. It'll be more of a competition, and people who, look above your shoulder to see what you're doing and all that. but if you're from all over the world, I mean, people again, like a climate. I mean, people have different phase in their life, different age, and all that. That diversity just became more of a festival than a competition. So I don't know about you, but I never, got struggled against like other architects doing what.
And I think that's the most valuable aspect of the project, meeting all these other people. Because a house, you can do a house like in other places, but being with all these other really cool, interesting people, doing stuff that we really like was unique.
And every country has its own approach to a villa, like the houses in Mexico are completely different from the houses in Japan, and of course in New York, blah, blah, blah. But, so I think that diversity just gave us, gave each architect a freedom. So it was, I felt completely free being one of them.
The Cliché, which is a museum.
It's nice.
No clients.
nice skylight. All white. Maybe.
Museum in the moon. No context, no client, no nothing.
I would love to design and build one house in every little country in the world, and just build it.